Let's get started. Where we at?
Stand for a while because
So we're gonna start. We're gonna start talking about the law, right? Where the law exists and why do we exist. So before we started talking about the law, let's talk about something. What you have learned. I want you guys to recap what happened this morning. So I want you guys to start thinking what you learned because give your mind a bit of time to think. If you don't do it, by the day three, you're not going to remember what you learned, right? So I want you to remember three things, not everything else, three things or your biggest takeaway from morning session. Write it down, the biggest three takeaways. What are the biggest three takeaways? What did you learn? What was the aha moment? Anything you discovered in yourself? Three. Write down, because if you don't write down, you won't remember it. Write down three things. What was the biggest three things you learned?
I was writing as I was listening. So
Yeah. Three things you learned from this morning session. Anything you can recall, what it was that? Biggest thing. Don't need to write 50 things, three things. Because these are the three things, we're going to keep doing it. I want this a bank, I want this a toolkit for you. Write it on a page where you can keep adding it, keep adding it. Write it on a nice and clean page, either at the back, at the front, wherever you have a space. This bank you need to build, because at the day three, you want to have a 12 to 13 things which you say, okay, I know these things now. At least you have a list. So remember these three things. What was those three things this morning? What was the three things? Write it down. Three things you learned this morning, or biggest takeaways for you in morning session. Yeah? Cool? All right. What are the biggest three takeaways? Sandy?
The success formula,
Yeah?
building perceptions, and the expert squad.
Cool. That's good. That's very good.
I like the expert word that you told.
Yes.
Yeah. And to claim something.
Yeah.
And the third one, and that four actually.
Yeah.
Community and ask and not tell.
Yes.
Ask the question, don't tell.
Ask the question.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Okay.
so to the first one, ask questions for the customer, make it painful for them.
Yes.
Yep. Consistent effort is the key.
Yes.
That's just personally me.
Yeah, yeah.
Because sometimes, yeah. And claim the title.
Claim the title. Cool. That's good. Ben?
For me, really, it's making it challenging for people to start working
With you.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Make it harder for them.
Yeah, and number two is focus on the niche market and making it small and do less. Try to do less, not everything.
Yes.
Number three is is create a perception that I'm the authority and I am the expert.
You're the expert, right? You're the authority.
I have similar like that find my niche.
Yeah.
One thing.
One thing, yeah, good.
Always learn. Keep learning.
Keep learning. Yeah, that's very good. Always keep learning.
I think I just put it in the attachment stuff. Is stop focusing just on
Yes, that's the biggest one. Stop focusing.
just focusing on just that title.
Stop focusing on project management.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, good. That's very good. Yeah, spread out. Now you know what's going to happen now? Now you're going to come up with the ideas.
Yeah.
Tomorrow you're going to be, holy crap, I didn't think of that. I'm good at that as well. Now, because your mind is now saying, no, I'm not going to do this, everything is there. You'll,
What else?
yeah, what else I can do? What else? Yeah, good. Simon.
Claim your expertise, claim your value, define rules and follow them, building perception.
Yeah, good. Building perception. Now, it seems like the building the perception is the biggest one, right? Claim your title and build a perception around it. I guess that's the whatever title you want to give it to yourself, give that title and claim and build perception around that title. Whichever way you want to build the perception, you build the perception, right? So now we can talk about today. This session is really important because for you to be successful, you need to understand the laws of the nature. And these are the laws of the nature we don't get taught at the schools and the universities, because this is what makes we as humans. When you understand the law of the nature, then you can actually say that, okay, this is the law. It's not somebody just made it up, this is how it's going to work. When you know the law, it's easy to follow the steps. Right? Somebody give you the steps of the law, you know this is how it's going to work. That's how it is. So we're going to talk about what is the law of success. Because you and I in this room are not doing something for the first time. There was hundreds and hundreds of people before us who created this law called law of success. There is a steps to become successful at anything you do in life. Anything you do, there are steps. What are those steps? What is this law of success? We're going to talk about cause and effect. There is a relationship between cause and effect. There is a cause, and which side of the cause and effect you guys at today. We're going to talk about eighth wonder of the world, which Einstein said it. Eighth wonder of the world. We can also talk about why most people suffer. Most people, and that's not about you. I know you are pretty cool in this space now. You clients, right? Why most people suffer. You need to understand it. Why do they do that? Then we're going to talk about my business, experts business. I'm saying experts business. This is the business, right? Experts business. How that look like, and we're going to deep dive into the experts business side of things, right? Let's look at the law of nature, the fundamental truth about the law first. You say there is a law, there is a cause of effect. Effect is people, some of them live in a cause and effect of the side. There is a law which is a cause and effect of law. If this happens, that's going to happen. That's the effect. If you keep eating McDonald's, you're going to have heart attack one day. That's the effect. Right? That's the effect. If you keep eating healthy and going to gym, you're going to be healthy, living for long. That's the effect. If you keep cheating on your wife, what's going to happen, right? Relationship's not going to be there. This is cause and effect of that. Most of the people live on the effect side of the world. Oh, that happened to me. I lost my job. I don't know how to do this. Not that many people live on the cause side. There is a cause, then there is an effect. I want you guys to look at it which side of the world you live in today, because the people you're meeting might be living on the effect side. The expert people live on the cause side. They understand that that's the cause, this is the effect. I did something, that's why I got in there. I did something, that's why I'm there. Today, I take full responsibility where I am today. Because if you don't take responsibility, you're living on effect side, not the cause side. That's the law. That's the nature, right? There is a law of attraction. There is a law of karma, moral laws and stuff. There is a golden rule, right? These are the law of the nature, right? All these things, you can read it, they are the laws. But one of the biggest law I want you guys to, as an expert, to understand this cause and effect law. Rest of the other things are pretty simple. You can read it. But cause and effect are the ones which you will use it most of the time as an expert. If you live on the effect side, it's going to be really hard. I want you to live on the cause side. So do something so that you can cause the effect. Right? This is what the cause and effect means, right? Cause, oh, how did it happen since the skin, since I crossed that, how, this is, when you toss the egg, the effect is going to be, egg is going to fall and break. That's the cause and effect of that. So if you throw the egg, it's going to fall and break and make a mess. That's the effect of that. A lot of people live on the effect side. All right, let's talk about the maths, formulas, success math. There is a formula for anything you want to be successful in life, and that's what you need, and that's what your clients need. They don't know yet, but they need this. So let's talk about it here. Look at this space first. This formula means P is for present, where you are today. So let's talk about this. Let's look at here. This is the P, right? This is your clients and you living it today. And D is for the destination, where everybody wants to go. Your client have certain destination. As I said, your job is to them move forward, right? You want to move them forward. So everybody's got a destination where you're moving them to. For you as well as for your clients. For me as well as for my clients as well. Same rule applies that. P for present, where they are today. D for destination. To get to that destination, what strategy I need to apply? There has to be a strategy. Blockchain is one strategy. This business is another strategy. Real estate is another strategy. What strategy? what plan, what package I'm going to give it to them. Then there is an action on top of that. You need to do an action. You need to walk on the strategy. Unless you walk, everything is a theory, right? You need to try the strategy. Then it's a time function. Then after that, time, it takes a bit of time. There is a time, right? You need to spend time doing it. Then there is a compound effect of the time. This is the formula. Let's look at this formula in a practical terms, right? For you guys to understand this. If P is present and D is a destination, and the destination for just the argument's sake is $100,000. If my destination is $100,000 and P is present, what my present look like today? My present look like $1,000 in my bank account. That's what my present look like. My destination look like $100,000. That's where I want to be. My strategy, I want to become an expert. That's my one strategy today. You could have hundreds. Today's strategy is I want to become an expert in dash at that thing, whatever name you want to fill that blank with that. Find my niche, client's delivery system, follow the recipe, have a mentor, and execute that. A is for, taking action in that. Sorry. We are, yes. So you have a mentor, that's your strategy. A for taking action on that. When you take action, there are two things you can do, right? You can go out and party with your friends, or you can stay home and read book. Right? You can look at the computer and draw something and what you need, code and all that sort of stuff, or you can watch TV or Netflix. Right? That's calling taking action in that step. Right? When you do that, there's no party, no TV, no calling people, just taking action for you to build that strategy. You're only doing that. Then there is a time period on top of that. When you do a time, and then it's a $100,000. That's a strategy you're working on today. So for people who are logical people trying to understand the formulas, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for your present situation where you are today, and this is where you want to go. How you fill the blank. You have a strategy. This is your master strategy in the middle that you want to become an expert. That you're going to do this. You're going to find a niche. You're going to serve people, help people with certain things. Then you're going to take action on that. If you don't take an action, strategy has no use for that. Strategy just strategy. If you keep partying on the weekend, keep watching Netflix, keep drinking, there is no action. So you need to fill that blank with certain consistent action on that. Then there is a compound effect on the top of that. Then it's going to time on that, take 1 year, then it's going to be $100,000. Does that make sense? And that's the formula to be successful if you talk about maths, right? You need to put all that together. So let's look at this law of nature. If you follow this system, you're meant to be successful. This is a law. I'm not saying it, I just made it up today. This is the law of success. Right? People who follow the law, they're meant to be successful. Your strategy might not work, but what's going to happen? You'll be able to tweak it. Right? You're already actioning it. You already know the destination. You already know the present situation. You just need to tweak the strategy. So you know out of the entire thing, what do you need to tweak? What do you need to change? Not everything. You don't need to move from Melbourne to Sydney, think that it's going to work. Now, you just need to tweak the strategy. You don't need to divorce your wife or husband thinking that things don't work because you have bad luck with me. You just know the strategy doesn't work. Right? You know that, right?
No, because I'm sitting like that. So I just looked at the
Right? So this is the way. So why aren't everyone successful? Let's look at why aren't everybody successful. Number one thing is education, right? People are not getting educated. They just think that there is a fluke. Everybody just becomes successful for, I don't know, just wake up, then they're successful. They think that. Oh, how did you do it? I don't know. Just used the formula, worked every night, didn't watch TV, and did all that work. That's why I'm successful. Yeah. People think that they're not educated, right? The brain, no understanding how the brain works. I'm going to talk about the brain more. No understanding of the brain, how that works. And the third thing, no understanding of the laws of nature, cause and effect. They don't understand that. That's why it's really hard for normal people to understand why they're not successful. Right? I want to make sure that you and your client, who you're going to teach, you understand that where they're at, so you can move them forward. Most of the people think, and I'm not joking, they think they have a business problem. They think they have a business problem. None of the people, there is no business problem. It's always a people problem. Always a people problem, because businesses are run by people. There is no business. People run those businesses. If you have a problem in business, there is a people problem there. You need to sort out the people problem. The moment you lift the people up, the business goes up anyway. Let's talk about the eighth wonder of the world. Mr. Einstein said the compound effect is the eighth wonder of the world. Let's look at this very quickly. I want you guys to have a look, see if this works. There's no volume. Let's have a look. What is this going on?
It's a brain forming neural links.
Yes, that's neurons linking together. This is our brain, neurons. So this is what's going on in your brain today, right now. Your brain's been all scattered at every other place today when we got started. And now this is what's happening in your brain. Your brain trying to make connections. Your brain trying to say, hang on, this is different. Trying to make connections, right? New things. These are brain neurons trying to make connections with each other. What happens is, you know that when you stand up on, say, if you play cricket or if you play tennis, say for example, I'm in a tennis court and I'm in the other side of Venus Williams or Serena Williams, or any of those guys. I'm standing there with my racket ready and they're serving. I'm pretty sure that when they do the serve, I wouldn't see the ball. I was like, something happened. There's a noise came. I don't know which way the ball gone. I just gone, right? But replace me with somebody else. Replace me with the guy or girl who's been playing tennis, whether it's a Roger Federer or somebody. Replace that guy. When Roger is standing there, when the ball comes, he see it like a football coming towards him. He'll be nice and easy. He'll just gonna hit the racket. That's it, gone back. What's the difference? This is the difference. Neurons being developed. When you learn something new, the tiny little neurons come together. When you keep doing same thing again and again, this is an ADSL connection within your brain, or NBN in your brain, right? Means that your brain now knows that. For me, the reason I can't even see the ball, because these neurons haven't been developed in that way. For Roger Federer, because they develop in a way, then they can actually see the ball. So this is for you guys today, because if you're feeling that uneasiness, your brain is trying to develop new connections today. And that's what happens with your clients as well, right? That's how the brain works. You're developing something new. You want these neurons to be developed. When I said consistent action, what I actually meant, you need to develop these neurons together. You need to make that connection. The moment it makes connection and becomes an NBN connection there inside, then you're expert in that. The law of 10,000 time or hours. Have you heard that?
Yeah,
Yeah, 10,000 hours.
10,000 hours, right?
10,000 hours
Yeah,
to become an expert.
because of this. Right? There's a medical reason behind it. This is the reason behind it. Right? What happens if you keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it? Your brain develops that ADSL connection at the back, which looks like this. Like this. Develop that wiring, which is pretty connected now. That's why you never forget. Most of our life, our kids, when they grow up, age of 7, they're pretty open to that. They're developing this now. You give them a religion before year 7, when they are 7-year-old, then give them a religion they will remember for the rest of their life and never leave that religion. Try doing that. I mean, we all do that. But if you give kids a religion or before the age of 7, or give them something, they develop so much neuron at the time, the religion becomes everything. That's the reason, right? Because kids adopt and create these wiring at the time when they're little. Chances. Most people think that things happen for chance, right? It's a fluke. Everything happens for chances. You don't win Olympics by chance. There is a certain cause and effect. There is always a cause and effect. You wake up in the morning, you swim, you practice, you're going to win the Olympics. That applies to the business as well. When I said to you early on that deliberate action, This is what I meant. Deliberate action means cause and effect. If you do something consistently, you meant to happen. Action taken now, a little effect is right now, but in few months or years, it's going to be crazy bigger. Right? When you do it today. So that's what happens with most people. You turn into a gym or walk into a gym and do an exercise for a month. You don't see any difference, but a month later, the compound effect kicks in. I always say that work till the compound effect kicks in. The moment the compound effect kicks in, work gets lesser and lesser. Initially, it's harder because the compound effect hasn't kicked in yet. That's why it's harder. So you need to understand the compound effect need to be kicked in. Why people fail, and that applies to your client, right? Most of the people fail, and why they fail. People start journey, they don't see any effect from the cause. Immediately they give up. The business idea doesn't work, they don't work, it doesn't work, right? They stop it straight away. They start something and they don't see the result. They do something, they go to gym, that doesn't work, they start a business that doesn't work, and they look it for a month, doesn't work. What happened with me? Remember what I said? I started a business. I didn't see any effect. I was living in this space before. I was living in cause and effect. I was on the effect side. I didn't understand the formula. I did not understand it. There has to be a cause and effect. It takes longer. It's not until the compound effect kicks in. Until that, I need to keep doing it. If I understood this, I wouldn't have stopped. Right? If you feel that today that you need to stop at something because you don't understand it, people think that. That's why most people fail. They don't understand the cause and effect side. People who stick long enough but forget what caused that effect, so they change things. What happened to most people is if you understand the cause and effect, right? Some people ask you, they keep doing the stuff, and 1 year they become successful. And when they become successful, they're trying to change that. They forget that time as well, that what causing that success today, the work they did 1 year ago or 2 years ago. So cause and effect is the biggest thing in our life. You need to understand this. Whenever you feel success today, it's not because you're successful today, it's the work you done 3 years ago or 4 years ago. Not today, not yesterday, not day before yesterday. All that is because of the long time, the work you've been doing it. Right? So that's the cause and effect side of the thing. There is no luck, only natural law, and that's cause and effect. There is no luck in that space. From cause and effect compounded exponentially over time. This is the code, you might want to remember it. There is no luck. There is no luck in that space. There is only natural law, cause and effect compounded exponentially over time. This is what my friend Albert Einstein said. He said, compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it, earn it. He who doesn't, pays it. He didn't actually mean the money-wise. He meant about everything in our life. Everything in our life is about compound effect. Let's do this. Billionaire guy. How he built his billionaire. People think that he's been working really hard, he's been smart. Look at this. 67 million. And it's gone crazy to 42 billion. Look at this. It's a Warren Buffett's money chart, how he made the money. Right? Many years of his life, 4K, 7 million, 47 million, 37 million. It's just a million. What happened here? Billion, 42 billion straight away. And that's what happens to all of us as well. Right? That's what the Warren Buffett's chart looked like today. How to master this law? Who wants to know how to master this? Yeah? You want to master this as well, not just by understanding it, you want to master it. Must become a keen learner. We talked about learning. Your past does not equal future. Remember what we talked about? A couple of examples we talked about. You don't need to be a project manager. You don't need to be this because your past does not equal your future. Your past does not equal your future. You can be anything tomorrow. You're always trying to go back to the comfortable space because that's what you know. Your past does not have to be same as future, right? The future does not have to be same as past. Stick to the process. Compound effect. Stick to the process. We all want to know everything today. We all want to know everything today. Stick to the process. There's a law of nature, right? You can't make a baby in a month. marrying 9 people. Right? You can't make baby in a month. You can't grow a crop in 2 days if you rain too much, or you can give a water way too much, right? You have a process. The seed goes in, the process comes, like, the plants grow, there is a process. So stick to the process, understand that process. One of my biggest frustration is I want to get things done quicker. I was like, do it, man. Why not happening right now? But one thing which I trying to remember or tab me all the time and say to me, it's a process. Understand it. It's a process. It's understand it. It's a process. It's going to take a bit of time. It's not that tomorrow it's just going to become like that. It's a process. This is the law of the nature. You need to understand it. Become a learnable, become that space, and then understand there is a thing called compound effect. Understand that, and also remember to create stuff. There is no competition for creator. Yeah?
To that question, sticking to the process, this is also the same thing like taking consistent action.
Yeah? Yep.
But the problem is that how much, like, is it necessary that you should have a burning desire and a passion to do something in order to be consistent?
That I believe that. Just
you-
because one thing,
Yeah.
if you don't have a passion about the topic you're working on,
Yeah.
you're going to stop after 3 months or 6 months.
Yeah.
That's a given. So you have to have some sort of passion, either the passion to make more money,
Yeah.
either to passion about the idea,
Mhm.
or either to passion to make the world a better place.
Mhm.
What are you passionate about? In that space, you have to passion. My passion to begin with was to make millions of dollars. I'm going to be honest, right? I just wanted to be
Yeah.
a lot of money. But then that changed with the time. So when you have money, then what do you do with that? Right? There has to be something else. So
Yeah.
that changed with the time.
There has to be drive and then
There has to be drive.
vision, and
Yes.
then you
Yeah,
stick to the
absolutely.
process.
Absolutely. Look, that's a part of the thing.
What do you do when you get distracted, or like you just sitting that the priority is either to go to the gym or just maybe
Sleep.
looking at some soft side or cooking
Yeah.
or
But that's
that's just a hard judgment, right? Just
no, it's just we always try to avoid the main thing. We always try to avoid the main thing.
Getting back to comfort zone.
Yeah, main thing is it's easy to do something else. If my main thing is to go to the gym, and that's what my main thing is, and I'll do my best to avoid that. That's our brain is designed to do that, because that's going to be uncomfortable for you. But that's where the leadership comes from. That's where the deliberate action comes from. The more you conquer that, it's like building a muscle. When you're trying to build your muscle for the first time, you're trying to work with the memory for the first time, then say, for example, today your brain says, don't go to gym, stay at home. And you let your brain win. Tomorrow, you wouldn't do that anyway. But what happens is if you say, no, I have to do it, and you're building that muscle. It's like doing an exercise. You're building that muscle. Once you build that muscle, then it's going to grow anyway. So what's going to happen after 5 or 10 times? Your brain's not going to tell you anything like that. The only reason brain's telling, because you listen to that. Brains, sorry.
Would it help, like you mentioned about the calendar, like put
Yeah.
the last in and say, these are the things I'm going to do Monday, Friday, or whatever. Maybe Sunday I'll take a break.
Yeah,
What's
I think the biggest issue is not about. It's I think the first step, getting out of the uncomfortable place where you want to be uncomfortable, and most people fail in that space, and that's where the leadership. That's where that you need to stick to what you're supposed to say. That's what we say, the integrity thing. If I say something, I'll do it. I'll do it. And that's where all that sort of comes from. But that's a different discussion. But remember that brain's not here to design to make you millions. Brain's job is to keep you safe. Keep you safe. That's the reason brain's here, right? Yeah, that's the wiring, right? So let's look at the very quickly growth mindset and fixed mindset. This is how we do it. I've just put it there for you guys to say it. I know you guys believe in the growth mindset, but it's like something developed, right? So people who hide their flaws and avoid challenges, that's a fixed mindset as well. Remember that. People who hate feedback, people who don't like criticism, that's a fixed mindset as well. If you don't like criticism, then it's a fixed mindset, because you should be ready to get a feedback. Should be ready to get a feedback all the time. People who feel threatened from other people's success, that's a fixed mindset. Right? There is no competition here. The reason I say there is no competition here, because everybody is creating their own world. People who create, they don't have any competition at all. People who create, there is no competition for them. The people who don't create, they have a competition. Right? People who create, they don't have any competition. Let's look at my expert business. This is my expert business look like. This is the most important thing. You guys need to look at it. Expert business is your target market, your products and services, and the results. That's it. What I do today, what I'm teaching, this is what it looks like. What does the expert business look like? This expert market we talk about. Your target market, very specific group of people with the similar attributes. That's what we call tribes. That's what we call communities. You must find their pain. You must find their pain. You must find their desires. What they want to get away from, what they want in life. Where they want to go away from, where they want to go towards. You must find the tribe's desire. You must find it. That's your target market. What's your product and services? What are you going to offer to solve that? Your promised solution, design and offer, don't assume. The reason I put don't assume, everything whenever I did based on my assumptions was wrong. Whatever I did, anything based on my assumptions, based on my experience, was wrong. So I stopped doing that. Now I ask the market, I ask the tribe, I ask them, less time of yours and repeatable. Let me explain this more, because most of you guys are in different space today. You spend more time doing the work, right? You need to design a product where you spend less time doing the work, and it's a repeatable. It's a repeatable. Anything you're doing today must be repeatable. Somebody can pick it up and give it or run it on your behalf if you want to. There is a process, you've done it. Somebody can reuse it. There is a process. It's a repeatable process, because you don't want to keep spending your time doing it again and again. You might want to do it first 2, 3, 4 times and design it, process it, but it has to be a repeatable process. You give it to somebody else. That's what expert business look like. When I say expert business, what I said, the 2 things. What is number 1 thing in expert business? It's an education. It's an education. It must be an education. You must be educating people for anything. Whatever you do, checklist or give them, help them move forward, you're educating them. That's the education, right? You must be educating them. Second thing is media. You must be in a media business. When I say media, everything, social media, everything, webinars, these classes, these videos, everything is media. All Facebook ads, all the Facebook photographs, that's media. And that massive result exceed their expectation. You need to help them get massive results. That's what your expert business look like. There is nothing else out there. You have a target market, they have a pain and they have a problems. You're helping them solve that pain and problem with the product you supply, and you're giving them the results they're looking for. There's nothing else out there. Does it make sense? Yeah? Cool. Any questions? Yeah? Clear? Pretty clear? So let's look at the example very quickly. Target market, X, your product and services. Have you... So firstly, you have to have a target market. If you don't have a target market, it's a spray and pray kind of thing. You just spraying and praying. You have to have a product and service. What's your recipe look like? What is your product look like? Like Sandy talked about 7 steps. Anybody can get a job. That's her 7 steps. That's her recipe, right? Anybody can go. If they want to get a job, I will find out. People liked it. Simon said, I liked it, your work, what I sold on, I talked about on the expert business quadrant, right? Expert quadrant. That's my thing, right? I teach that. People want to know, hang on, what is this experts quadrant? I don't know much about it. Can you show me more? Tell me more. That's where the hook is. That's where people come in. All right? Did you get it? So you need to have your product. You need to have your service. If you don't have your product and service, you are like everybody else. If you're just selling a project management and you're just selling everything you do, what everybody else is doing, everything is same. They want to know what is your recipe in that. That's why people are going to come. You need to create your recipe. If you don't, then result. Give them wow. Give them wow. They're like, holy crap, I didn't expect that. Oh, I didn't even expect that. What is that? Because totally new. Tell me if you expected what we're teaching today. Did you expect it? You knew it, or because you were coming on Wednesday classes? Yeah, you know that, right? So you know it. We're going to talk about this. Yeah. So people think that, and this is what my mistakes were, and that's where the learnings come from. I gave people steps. When I ran this program early on, I gave them the blockchain stuff. I gave them Bitcoin. What do you watch videos? You watching that? I gave them that. What happened after that? Nothing. People didn't move forward because I just gave them the steps. I didn't help them move forward. That's why this is 90-day program. Because that's why I'm talking about the mindset. That's why I'm talking about the law. That's why I'm talking about those. 3 things to be successful: the recipe, the mentor, the community. Wasn't enough at all. Wasn't enough. That's why I needed a winning mindset. That's where the winning mindset comes from. That's why the 90-day program. I learned and adopted what market was saying. Yeah? Cool. Where are we? Oh, what happened here? Oh, not this. All right. Oh, what happened? All right, cool. So this is me, right? And I want to talk to you about me mostly this way. I was so confused when I started because people in the business space gave me so much information. Any place I went in, any place and the business training I went to, and that was business people talking about, you have to do so many social media posts. You have to do this. You have to have social account. You have to do blog. You have to do vlog. You have to do so much stuff. So many things people were saying. You have to have a website which looks really good. You have to have a perfect Facebook ads. You have to have a LinkedIn profile which works really well. You need to have, everything in that space. But for me, there was no substance. There was no results. There was nothing. I was working way so much on the other stuff, which was Facebook ads, creating my websites, putting so much post on LinkedIn or the other places. Like if you look at it, last year I spent so much time putting post on LinkedIn. I was just putting post on LinkedIn's because like blogs. I was writing on LinkedIn. I was writing on LinkedIn last year, and I was keep writing on LinkedIn. Well, the biggest problem was I wasn't getting any business. I was like, I'm putting so much on social media. I'm writing. I'm doing a lot of YouTube videos. I'm doing a lot of LinkedIn videos or LinkedIn posts. I'm doing a lot of stuff in that space. But where's the business? Somebody show me the money now. Where's the business? Like everybody says you have to be on social medias, right? I opened up Instagram account. I opened up Snapchat. Or name anything. I opened up all that, right? I was putting posts and all the time, doing everything because everybody said that I need to do that.
And you were operating by yourself, right?
Yeah. So think of that. How much time I was spending?
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't have a team member, right? I was doing everything by myself. But the biggest thing was, and then I realized with the time, I didn't have a plan. There was no product and there was no solution I was giving to anybody. Remember what I talked about here? This. I didn't have that. I didn't have a target market. I didn't have a product, and I didn't get any results.
So what were you creating the post about?
Just random stuff. Go back and look at my post. Look at it. It was just random. Like, why you should have blockchain. Why people need to do this. Why people need to, like random stuff. I'll just keep writing it. Sitting in like 10 o'clock in, wife says, come and watch TV with me. No, I'm doing work. What work doing? I'm writing a post on LinkedIn.
Not making any money.
There wasn't nothing, making zero money because I didn't have this. This is the expert business, right? Like honesty, right? I'm telling you everything, right? This is what happened.
Manages all of this.
Oh, that's different.
I think I'm doing exactly the same thing.
You're doing what I was doing?
Did you see my LinkedIn post?
Yeah, you're doing same.
I'm doing the same thing. I'm all over the place.
That's why, because it's not there, right? I did the same thing. Everybody does it. I'm saying everybody does it. It's not right or wrong. We all do it. I did it as well. I know Pehen doing it as well. I know some of you guys, if you're doing that, you're going to be there as well. But I'm saying that's not going to give you money. This will give you money.
Right.
So lucky already that I learned it before.
Yeah. There you go. I saved you so many years of time.
You know how long it takes to write a piece of article.
Tell me about it.
Now
I've been doing it for a long time. Yeah.
It takes like average. an hour
2-3
or
days,
two
or
to
2-3 days, man.
Yeah.
You design it, you
Yeah.
put it short together. Oh,
And
by
you
the
put it on, and you have like.
Yeah.
And I found out like on LinkedIn, if you write an article, under article, people have to click in to view it.
Yeah.
You get much less view than you if you just write a blog.
Yeah.
And you know, as a content, you get like 4 times the view. You know, if you write it directly like on there, than writing an article, because people are so lazy to click.
So you get into that analytical of that.
Yeah.
You know, analytics. You trying to understand how that works.
Yeah.
So, biggest thing missing is this.
Yeah.
Because this is missing. That's why you're spending a lot of time, and I did the same thing. So, recommendation would be please go back and do this, which we will go do it. Don't spend any time. Don't care. I didn't write anything on LinkedIn since I don't know early this year. I just wrote one post, but that's it. I didn't do anything. No, I'm not doing anything. Nothing. Why? The only thing I'm doing is building perception. That's why the videos are there. Right? I've hired somebody because I can afford somebody. I didn't just do it. Now I'm not spending any time. My time goes into this space. I find my target market, I find their problems, I find their desires, and I give them the product. Nothing else. Don't do anything else, right? So this is what my...
The only thing you're doing at the moment is just LinkedIn video, or do you use, I see you still on Facebook.
No. I'll talk about what I do as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, all that. So I do perception building, nothing else. Anything which is building the perception, I do it. If not building the perception, I won't do it.
But when you talk about building a perception, because you see the common mistake we all make, because if you look at my LinkedIn, I have all those titles, all this text on there.
No.
Are you talking about we shortened down to 1 or 2?
No. I'm saying stop doing that.
Just, you know,
Yeah.
a lot of people that have their name, then bang, 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 bang.
Or no. That's the LinkedIn profile titles.
Yeah.
Sorry. No. We're not talking about that.
All right.
No. We'll talk about titles later. When you decide which domain you want to get in.
You have to be precise.
You have to. That's we're talking about finding the mountain and claiming it. That title is for that.
But one title, right?
No. You can have 3, 4. That's fine. That's just finding a market, and it's similar. Sort of all the roads lead to your house, basically.
Wow.
Right? All the roads lead to your house, not anywhere else. All the roads lead to. But this is what main things. Sorry. So now let's recap it very quickly. What is the law of nature? We talked about it. Everything is a law. There is a law to success. I show you the math formula as well. You want to look at it. This is the math. You want to live on the cause side of the formula, not on the effect side. You guys live on that space, right? Eighth wonder of the world. I showed you that. Why most people suffer. You know why people suffer. Talked about the expert. My expert business. This is how the expert business look like, right? That's what it is. Just very quickly. We have a bit of time. Let's write it down. What did you learn quickly in this space? I'm going to call the downstairs guys and get them to send us the water. Where did she took the bottles?
Left it outside.
Is it? Let me have a look. Write it down. What did you learn? Alrighty. You guys done? What did you learn? What did you learn?
Find the market, build the product that moves people forward.
Yeah.
And do everything that builds your perception, those contaminants.
Cool. Excellent. Anybody else?
Nothing by chance.
Sorry? Nothing by chance. Yes. Everything is a cause and effect.
Leaving curve is not effective.
Cool.
I just keep writing the same thing down. The consistent effort over time is the key to success.
Yeah. That's compound
probably-
effect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's compound, but that's still.
Yeah. Cool.
With no recipe/product to lead to social media posting is useless.
Yes. I mean, do it. That we need to do the post. I'm not saying stop doing it. There has to be reason, right? Say in my post, just give you an example. All the roads lead to your house. So what I'm doing is today, if you look at my post today, it's about this room. We're doing this event. What's going to lead to? People more into the room, right? Building perception. It works. Whatever he's teaching, people are there learning. It works, right?
I think the three things for me is number one is cause and effect. Is compound efforts leads to success.
Yep.
And all we have to do is be patient.
Yeah.
Not to
Of course.
expect anything quick. And number two is try to do less and focus on where the money is.
True.
And number three is create a automated solution that's self-repeating.
Yes.
And don't have to put too much time into it.
True. Absolutely.
So I have a couple of things I think similar to but past is not present,
Yes. Past does not equal future. Present.
and get the process and stick to it.
Yes. Cool. All right. All done? We all done? Yeah, cool. All right, let's get started. Now I want to show you something, getting into the juices of stuff. Now the stages. I want to show you the stage of experts business because you need to understand where you're at today. The best way to get to Sydney or get to any place, know where you are today. All right? You can't get anywhere unless you know where you are right now. So you need to understand the stages of any place, right? So this is the stages, right? We're going to go through this. The definition of expert, how value is created globally, the value. We want to try to create our business based on the value. We're not creating a business based on the hour you spend. Remember what we said? Time equals or not equal to money. So we want to describe our business as a value-add business. We want to do the evolution. We want to talk about the different stages. Where this expert's business come from? What are the stages of the business? We're going to talk about don't fight with the market, work with the market. Some people trying to push things into the market. I'll give you an example. You go to the university, you spend 2 years or 3 years doing bachelor or masters. You're now a bachelor of accountant, your master's in IT, and you come out of that and you say, I've done 2 years, I'm entitled to something. Give me a job. Right? This is what we do. I'm entitled now. Give me the job because I'm entitled. Don't fight the market, work with the market. Right? This is the main thing. We don't fight with it. Why people hire experts? You want to know, right? Why people actually hire experts? What's the reason people do it? We want to know exactly why people do it and your journey ahead. I want to talk about your journey. Not my journey, your journey. What's going to happen going forward? Let's look at it very quickly. Who's an expert? This is the misconception in the market, right? People talk about the people who have the qualifications or the corporate experience or the people who work in the office or the staff. All those people are experts. This is the misconception about the market. You don't need any qualification. I'm telling you, you don't need any qualification. People who trust and believe the qualification, you give them and show them the certificate from us kind of thing. Otherwise, you create it. Right? You create your own certificate. What I did, I'll give you my example. Last year I opened up a company, right? My company when I started. There was no standard in the market. And my aha moment was, university got a standard. People think that university, when you do bachelor and masters, they have a degree at the university and they feel good about that degree, right? People like it. People feel good about that. They have a university qualification. They have a standard. I said, I'm going to create my own degree. I'm going to create my own standard and I'm going to give the people that standard. So what I did is, last year I stood up and said, this is the standard now. I'm standing here, that's where the line's starting, let's do this. So it's the standard, you can create it as well for yourself. For people who believe in the degrees, you don't need to have degree for yourself to become an expert, right? So remember that it's anything in the market is a misconception. Unless you want to become, take a job as a lawyer or take a job as a doctor. Yes, you need that. You need to go and learn the skill of that. But for standard stuff, what are we doing? You don't need a qualification, right? There's nothing like that. So what is an expert? Who is an expert? Let's look at the dictionary evidence or what did Wikipedia say. A person who is knowledgeable about a skillful in a very particular area, having or involve a great deal of knowledge or skill in a particular area. So what in simple terms is you are specialized in one specific area of law. It doesn't matter what it is, that's it. You don't need a qualification, you just are specialized in that space. Maybe you worked in that space for a long time, or maybe you decided to learn that skill by reading a lot of books, right? By doing certain stuff. You became an expert in that space. Somebody who gives advice to others and get paid for doing that. That's my simple definition. Right? Remember what I said earlier? What people are asking you for advice. Who comes to you for advice for what? Remember that. If you just started charging for that, you're an expert in that domain. Could be anything. Doesn't have to be one specific thing. Doesn't have to be the accountancy. Doesn't have to be anything else. Could be anything. Whatever people are coming to you for advice, you can actually charge them for that. If you're charging it, you are an expert in that space. That's a simple definition. Why people buy advice? Let's look at it. I think before we talk about it, why people come to you for advice, the first thing we need to look at why people buy advice, but then look at it, why people actually buy. Not the advice, but why we actually buy as humans. Why people buy. Let's talk about this. This is a view of the world, our belief systems, and this is the biggest thing for us. We all have our beliefs and everything. This is how we start. When you're born as a kid, you have you. You started to look at things. You started to look at, you have wearing a frame, you started to look at stuff. You build a perception based on that, right? Everything around you, you're building that bank. You're building the bank here. Everything is happening, you're building something. Everything around you, your family, friends, and the society, they all are building a view of value and a belief for something, right? Let's look at it very quickly. What is the different view of the world is? Wherever we are today, that's our past, that's a future, and that's a desired future. Let me give you a very quick example of this. We all have different kind of belief. You, family, friends, and society, where we come from, and that's the past has to be. Where we are today, wherever are we are today because based on the beliefs we acquired or the values we acquired when we were growing up. That's where we are today. But we also have the desired future. This is where we want to be, right? You, your family, your society, your friends, they all have a desired future. Everybody in the society have a desired future. We want to look younger. We want to look smarter. We want to look leaner. We want to look sexier. Whatever you want to say it, we have a desired future. Right? Not that many people go to gym because they want to be really, really healthy. Right?
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah. They want to go to gym because they want to look good. It's looking good, right? Their desired future. They want to get somewhere. There is a gap where they are today, right now, and where they want to go. There is a gap. Where there is a gap, humans are waking up every morning. And as we, humans, wake up every morning to become their desired future. We want to wake up every morning so that we can get our desired future. Not you and me, we all as humans are doing it. We want our desired future. If we don't have a desired future, the thing called depression kicks in because you're living in the past. People who are living in the depression, they're living in that fear, they live in that past. People who wake up and go to work, go to shops, they live in the future. They want to be somebody. They want to be somewhere. Right? They want to be somewhere. So that's what happens. This is what I already talked about. Just very quickly. I don't know if you guys remember this. I mentioned that. Right? This is what I learned from Keith Cunningham. Yeah, find out what they want, go get it, and give it to them. So, you already know this one. We talked about this. So this is what happens. As an expert, they're looking for your advice to fill that gap, their desired future. They are there today, wherever they are today, and they want to get to their desired future, and there is a gap, and they're looking for an expert. They're looking for some advice to be get there into their desired future. I want to lose weight and I want to lose weight quickly. I need to hire an advisor. I need to hire somebody, an expert who can help me. Right? I want to release my ICO. I want to start a business. I need somebody who can help me with that. I need an advice. Means that people want to get somewhere and you are there to help them to get there. You are not there to fill that gap. The reason they hire people, they can't do it their own. They don't know how to do it. They don't have a skill set to do it. They want to get there faster. They want to get there quicker. They don't want to waste time. That's why they want to do it with you, not with anybody, with you. Or they want to follow a proven system. You already done it? Just show me how to do it. That's it. They want to follow a proven system. That's why people need experts. Does it make sense? Right? This is the market. So tell me one thing. What did you learn in this space as we humans? Who needs an expert? When I sort of discovered that, I was like,
Everybody.
yes, that was my answer. I was like, holy crap. Everybody needs somebody. Right? Everybody needs somebody because at this present time, they either are going away somewhere from somewhere, some sort of pain, or either they're going towards their desired future. People who are going towards their desired future, they need an expert and advisor. You could be a weight loss expert. You could be a relationship expert. You could be an IT expert. Could be anything.
It's a journey from birth to death.
Right? Yeah. So we all need it. So why my 13 businesses failed and 14th, 15th were super successful? Why my most important business lesson, and this is my lessons. Last 13 business successfully failing and learning from that, I came up with the ideas thinking that people might want that. I've just come up with the ideas and I said people might want it. Right? They might like it. They will need it. It was based on my assumptions. Everything was based on my assumptions. Are you okay? Comfortable?
Yeah, yeah.
Sure? You want to have a break?
No, I just have tigers up a little bit tight, so
Okay.
I think I'll just take.
Yeah. I thought they were very unique. My ideas were very, very unique. I don't know. Like I was thinking I'm the unique guy. I had very unique ideas. But ideas, believe it or not, there's no unique idea today. Your idea is being done by somebody else, some other part of the world, if not in this country. Somebody has done that work. You're not the only one. And I was blindly following a passion. I was just like, oh, this is my passion. I just want to do it.
Yeah.
There was nothing. What do you think the biggest problem here? Let me tell you what the biggest problem.
You thought
Yeah. So my biggest problem was in the first thing. I, and I. Everything was I. Very selfish. I wanted that. I want that. I want to do this. I think my idea is good. I. But what does the formula says? Remember what we talked about? Their desired future, not my desired future, their desired future. I only need to help them with what they want, where they want to get to, that's done. Why I need to put myself into it? Why it matters me? What do I want?
I am only the vehicle.
Yeah, I'm the vehicle. I just need to help them get where they want to go, and I remove myself completely out of the picture. If they want to sell, I don't know, bathtubs tomorrow, yeah, good, do it. Who am I to tell them bathtub is not good? If that's what they want to do it, please. If they want to build $1 million house in some other part of the world where I know that the value is going to be decreasing pretty quickly, they want to do it. That's what their passion is. Help them get where they want to get to.
Even you know what they're trying to do.
If they pay me 20,000 one-on-one, yes, of course I'm going to tell them it's not a good idea. Yes. I'm only going to tell them. Of course I'm going to tell them. But you need to hire me to do that work. Not just tell you for the sake of telling you.
Okay. Never give free advice.
Never give free advice. And never stop them making a wrong thing or mistake. Right? right? Never stop them because, just for one reason, you don't actually know the whole story. You're also viewing the world with a frame, right? You think they might be making a mistake, but they might be doing for some other reason, right? Because you don't know the full story. The only reason you have a full story, you actually get to meet them in person, review it, which you only want to do it once you get paid because you want to do fully. You don't want to have half-done thing, right? So you want to do full stuff. So this is what happens. People just want to say, I just want to learn how to do the best Facebook ads. And you teach them Facebook ads, then nothing happens. This is what happens. You can't create desire by Facebook ads. You can't create desire by Facebook ads. People complain the Facebook ad don't work or Google AdWords doesn't work. For me, it works. 100% works. The reason it works, because I know the formula. It's nothing to do with the ad. Ad is just a vehicle. You're putting yourself out there. You can't just go to the market with a random product and services and trying to sell that product. So people might buy it. There has to be a problem which you're providing a product to solve it, and then people come to you for that. If you're just providing a random product and they think that people just buy it on the Facebook ad, they're not going to buy that because it's just a random product. You need to be very specific. Remember what we talked about earlier? Where's that gone? This one, the formula. This is the main thing. Expert business. This is what expert business is. Nothing else is other than this. You find your target market, you find the product which you have it to solve their problem, and you get them the results. That's it. That's the expert business. Now you know the desired future. You now find your target market. Say, for example, my target market is people who are professionals. And this is my business. My target market is people who are professionals, who are working with some sort of skill. Right? Now you look at yourself, are you the right people in the room? Have I targeted the right people in the room? You guys are professional, you work on your skill set, you've been doing it, and you have a desired future. You want to be an expert. You have a desired future. I created a product. Did I create a product? I did create a product, right? And I sold you that product. Didn't I? Yeah. So you guys here. So exactly same thing. And I didn't say that you just go and do the training like everybody else, run a 3-day training that's done and disappear. No, I said 90-day plan. Let's work on this plan so that I can give you the results too. Me, just by giving you this training, nothing's going to happen. I know tomorrow, Monday morning, when you're going to wake up, you're going to go back to your world, everything is going to be gone. I created the competition on Facebook. Why did I do that? I wanted you guys to do something. Because unless you get up and do it, there won't be any results. I'm looking for results. So that I can say, wow. Or you can say, wow. So you got to do the same thing for your clients too. Does it make sense? All right, so that was my problem. You can't do this. So let's talk about this. So we've been talking about this all then, but how did all get started? How we all got started with this space? Like, remember what I was saying here? Remember that I came up with the idea, I did all that, right? That just didn't happen. It's not that I'm the unique one and I had the thought and I started to create businesses, right? We all started somewhere. And this is where we all start. This is how it happens with us as humans. When we start, we come up with the idea, whatever idea that is, or build our skill set. Then we spend most of our life convincing people to buy our products and services. So I come up with the idea, I have to go to the university, I have to do my master's, then we convince most of our life, convincing other people to buy us as our services or buy our product because we came up with the idea. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah? What we're doing here, I come up with the idea and now I'm trying to get into the market and trying to sell that same thing. So let's look at it. Find out, okay, let's look at this first. So this is what happens. This is what I'm talking about. Skill, you have market, and this is your product. So this is what you got, right, at the moment. As humans, when we leave school, when we go to school and we come out of school, we do this. If you look at it, most of your life, and the reason you guys in this course right now, because I know you work on this. Right? Belief system says you need to have certain skill to do certain things. You need to have certain skills to do certain things. Means that, again, you're working on your skill set. And most people work on their skill set. They develop their skill set. They go to uni. They do all that because that's what the society says. That's what the industrial age was. You go to the skill set and you're trying to sell that skill set after into the market. After you acquired the skill, right? You go and sell the market. But what happens in the market? Market may say yes, market may say no, I don't need that. Sorry, I don't need that. What happens after that? We get depressed. We get all that, angry. Oh, why nobody is giving me a job? I already spent 3 years in the university. I already spent so much time in the university. Why nobody hiring me? What's the reason? The reason is market never needed that. It's just because you decided to do it doesn't mean that it's right or wrong. It's just you decided it. Does it make sense? Let's look at this. Find out what they want and give it to them. Remember what we said earlier? Find out what they want. Spend time in finding what they want. Ask questions. It's about you, it's about the market. Don't fight the market. Spend time on how to give it to them, what they want in quicker and faster way. So the quickest way to do it is do this. Find out what they want. Find out what they want and get a product and give it to them. If you need to acquire a skill to make it happen, then go and get a skill and then give the product to them. Rather than doing the other way around. And this is my biggest discovery. And I can tell you guys, hasn't been taught anywhere. I've been to Tony Robbins, Brendon Burchard, I've been to all that, paid hundreds of thousands of dollars. Nobody taught this at any level. And I started to look at it, why the hell I'm doing this? Am I the only one doing this? No, then I found everybody does it in the society. Why everybody does in the society? Because this is how we work as humans. We work on a skill set. We don't work in a market. The best day to is work on the market, what market wants, and then if you need a skill to fix that, go get that skill and then come back and give them the product. Even if you need skill or if you don't need skill, that's entirely up to you at the time, depending what you give it to them. But it depends what market wants, not what you want. Right? This is my things, right? The moment I started spending time and looking at what people want and giving to them, I was successful. That was my reasoning of that. So look at the example. The 13th business is which I failed all the time. I wanted. We started a cloud business. I didn't want that. Do you think I love cloud? No, I hate nothing. It's just normal, right? Anything. I didn't like cloud or anything. Why the cloud business was successful? I was working for Oracle at the time, and before that was for IBM. We found a biggest problem. We're trying to speak to the people, and what the companies were doing was just hiring people or offshore resources. They were doing the migrations at the night time. Or they were doing the work, right? India guys were doing all the work, or Philippines guys were doing all the work. They were doing the work for IBM. They were doing the work for for Oracle as well. Same. Went there and I said to them, guys, we're moving people to cloud. We're moving people to engineered system. Why don't we have our own software? They said, we don't have a time to build it. And I said, I'll build it for you. Very easy. I can get it done very quickly. They said, no, we don't want to spend time and money into it. No time. And I said, why? Everybody wants that. We're spending 20 hours to migrate this stuff. Why don't I just develop a system where a person presses the button and it happens overnight? In the morning when you come back, everything is there, new place. Nobody has to sit and manually do the steps. Everybody was doing manually and working for these corporates as well. I didn't come up with the idea. Market gave me the idea. Right? Those guys didn't want to do anything, and I said, let me go out and create it. I spoke to a couple of people, one programmer, one a project manager. I said, come guys with me. You become the CEO. You guys do the developer. Remember I said 3 people you need? You need an entrepreneur, You need a manager, the guy, you need an artist. I was the entrepreneur guy who actually see the bigger things. I found the problem. I knew it. I needed a manager. I got and spoke to the guy, got the manager. I needed somebody who actually do the work. I wasn't doing the work. I hired somebody to do it, and I paid them the equity for the firm. The person did the design. They did everything. I didn't do anything. Does it make sense? Right? Blockchain. Where did I come up? I didn't like blockchain. I just found the market wanted it. People started asking me questions. How do you do this? How do you do that? How do you do that? When people started to ask me questions, what did I do? I gone and investigated. Nobody was doing it. I created a product. I started offering people the product. I teach you this. Come with me, I'll teach you that. I gave them the product and gave them the answer. They bought the product. The company made a successful everything, right? Can you see the difference? I worked on the market. I didn't work on my skill set. I didn't go back to the university that I need to learn blockchain. Right? Does it make sense? Yeah. Cool. The more accurately you understand the market, the more money you make. That's a given. Yeah, I'm going to give you the questionnaires, right? So there's going to be questions you need to go and ask, but you need to understand the market more. That's the main thing is. Now you know why people need experts. The next step is how. Right? You understood the why now. People need experts. Now, how do we need experts? Expert is why delivery model. Let's talk about. So this is talk about why, right? We sort of discussed the why people need people in that space. But you want to know the model as well because you're going to be delivering the model, right? You want to know the delivery, the execution model of that. So this is the delivery model look like. This is how people do the advice. So today, and this is how you as an expert's going to give the advice. You might give an online advice. You run webinars, you run online stuff. You watch the videos online, this is online advice for that. You might do groups. We're doing groups today. This is group advice. I'm teaching in a group. Right? You might do one-on-one. Certain companies, I do one-on-one as well. You might do it with them. Means that doing some work for your client and some work done by the client. Right? This is not anywhere else available. I'm seriously, this is what I created in the last 6 months. When I did it, and I was like, this is the model. This is how the delivery is going to work. This is how the work. Like me and Pehan attended the course. What's the name?
Ultimate expert.
Yeah, ultimate expert. Nothing was taught. I don't have no idea how I'm going to go out and work. We just attended 3-day training. We paid like how much did we pay? $4,000? $4,000 we paid for 3 days. We gone and attended the training. Came out, I don't know what to do after that.
It was a $35,000 course.
Yeah, 35 after that. I was like, what the hell? I don't know what yeah. And like, I was so confused. What do I do now? I don't understand the model. How do I execute it? Like, there has to be, you remember what I said? Experts quadrant, what I talked about? If you don't teach that way, people don't understand it. That's why. I talked about why this morning. Now this is hows. How you actually do the work. If you do the work, you do the. And I'm going to give you one more model which tell you how you start tomorrow. Right? Not just tell you this is the bigger picture. These are the models. You do the last one. Do it for the client. Means that perform end-to-end delivery and service for them. Right? You perform the work for them. Some of you guys do that. You say, give me this work. We'll do the work end-to-end. We do the for customer. You do it for them. So remember this. This is the main slide for you. You need to work through this slide. This is the main slide for the expert business. If you're providing an advice, you need to follow this model because you need to package it in a way. Means that you do it for the client. You do take the contract, everything what they want to do, and you do it for them. Or you say, we do half and half. Remember what I said earlier, partnership program, which with us, this is half and half program for me. I'm going to talk about that later. But that's half and half kind of thing. One-on-one, where I charge quite a lot of money. That's my one-on-one with clients. And then groups, which is this, is a group setting. And then online, which is the online courses. This is online happening right now. So step-by-step process. Let's look at a step-by-step process. This is hows, guys. This is exactly steps you need. Steps is do it for the client, perform. This is the first step. When I say step-by-step, this is sequence. Tomorrow when you want to start, this is how you start. Means that when you're starting tomorrow, say Sandy, you're starting helping people how to get a job. You do it for the client. You tell them how to do it, exactly step, you do it for them, right? Exactly. Step by step, sit there, teach them exactly with them. So that's the work. So you might be in the second one, do it with them because they need to do certain stuff for you. But in the project management space, or you might, or in your space, you might say, give me the entire work, we'll write it your white paper, we'll write everything, we'll do all that for you. You do it for them. I did that early one, I did it for them. What it means, why would we do that? The reason for that is we want to learn the process. We want to learn ourselves first, that whether we can do the work. Right? You do that for them because you can have all that, the steps and everything. You decided, and people are going to give you the feedback. Then you incorporate that feedback. Then you do it for them. That's a consulting model first. Then you do it with them. Right? You become an advisor. Then you say, "I'll review it. You do the work. I'll review it. You do the work. I review it. You do the work. I review it." That kind of thing. Right? Do it with them. Then one-on-one. Then you start working people with one-on-one. Some people are going to come to you, ask for the advice, say you want to work one-on-one with us. You work one-on-one with them. So I'll cover for yourself, right? If you're doing the real estate business in that space, you really need to define where you want to be, because if you want to work for somebody else, then it's a different model. They decide what action you need to take. Means that it's not your creation. Somebody else decided it. If you want to come into the expert world in this space, then you need to decide whether you want to do an expert in the work you've been doing for many years. You want to make people or help people in the real estate industry how to get properties, or you want to help people how to get jobs, or how to become a delivery exec, or how to execute stuff in that space. So you need to decide, because at the moment the confusion probably because somebody else decided what you need to do, because you are at operational. So the moment somebody else decides what you need to do and you're just executing the work, you are an operations person. You are just there to execute the work. You're not designing it. The boredom comes, the reason you are bored at work at some places, because you're not creating. You are doing the work because it's designed by somebody else. When somebody else designed the work and you execute it, that's the operations. Franchisee models are operations. Done for you, they are operations. You just do it and execute the work.
And they get the money.
They get the money. The most the money is in creation. If you're creating stuff, that's where the most the money is. That's why people who create make more money. Right? You reckon what I'm going to do with this now? I've got the material. Can you see the creation here? This is the creation. This is not just came up. I know that. I knew that long term. I didn't just go and did it for no reason. I spent a bit of time. So this is the model you do it. Then you do a group workshop the way we're doing it today. This is a group workshop. Then you do online. I truly believe that if you are in this space and you're trying to do the last one first step, you're trying to sell online for the first time, it's going to be really, really hard. Nobody buys online. If I'm trying to sell, I did it. I tried to sell my course online. Nothing happened. Nobody bought it. Because the rapport wasn't there. The trust wasn't there. People didn't know me. Why would they spend money buying it? Right? So, but what I'm going to do long term, when I'm building the trust, I've got the community, I've got the tribe, I can sell online as well. So that should be the last step for everybody. Right? I'm not saying you have to follow these steps, but I'm saying it's tried and tested. It works. I know it works because I did it. So you can do the same thing. Just replicate it. Now you know the steps, right? Does it make sense? Yeah? Cool. This is the money-wise, the journey look like. Right? This is very important for you guys to understand it. I want you guys to have, that the biggest issue is how much do I charge? And how much money should I be making? At what level should I be making? So this is, initially when you get started, you're going to be journal expert in that space, like many other people. You're going to be very generic. Most of the people stay journal experts. They're just generic. They're just like a project management expert. They just do project management work, right? Some of the guys are just a security expert. They're very generic. Everybody starts from there, but doesn't mean that you have to stay there. So this is how the journey starts. You start as a journal expert, then you take yourself to a niche expertise. become a very niche. That's the next step. Like Pehan, for you, because you've been in a blockchain space, you've been in that space, now you need to pick a niche in that space. What it means is you pick a niche, say, I'm only going to work for people who are starting a business, and I'm only going to work for them with the 3 months. And I'm going to give you this deliverable. This is the model you create. Just one example, but something else might be. Right? So you now need to pick a niche. Exact niche, what are you going to be working? Then there is a niche experts. You become an expert in that very specific niche. Everybody knows you, that you're an expert in that niche. Startup experts, like business experts, like name it, right? People become niche experts. So what I'm doing is, if you probably have seen it again and again, one word just keep popping up. What is the one word in every slide? What is the one word which you look at it, it's there every time you look at any slide. It's one word.
Expert.
Expert, expert, expert. So you probably know that. What one word I'm trying to dominate? Expert, right? I'm trying to create experts in expert industry, right? That's what I'm trying to dominate. Does it make sense? Yeah? So niche experts comes in place. Then there is the industry experts. After that, then the online experts. Online experts like Gary Vee, to name all the online people. They sell a lot of stuff because Kim Kardashian is an online expert. Kim comes online and sells the lipstick for like 100,000 straight away. Right? All these are online experts. They didn't just become online experts, they just started somewhere. This is the journey look like for everybody who's an online entrepreneur. They started at this place, this space. They were generic. They just started doing journal stuff. Then they found the niche. Then they started working on that niche. Then they become a niche expert. Then they became the industry expert. Then they become an online expert. Online experts are the people who are influencers. They are the influencer at the end, right? So all of us, if not, we trying to be, or I'm personally, this is my goal, to get to the next level. This is my next level. At least I know the ladder. If you don't know where you're going, it's really hard to get there, right? So I'm giving you the ladder to go. This is the ladder you need to climb. Yeah? Does it make sense? Yeah? Cool. This is what it is. What I discovered along the way is that you still give the same advice, but the model of the delivery and the rules of the game different. So you still give the same advice. You still teach the same thing. You don't go back and start doing I need to learn new things. Don't go back in the skill set again, that mindset. You don't do anything different. You still teach the same thing. You still do the same thing. But the delivery is different and the rules of the game are different. What are the rules? People who work with me one-on-one, they can have my phone number. They can call me anytime. Right? The rules of the game for you guys, make sure you contact me on Slack. That's the rule of the game, right? Rule of the game changes, but the delivery changes, but the content is still the same. Tony Robbins, from Brandon Bouchard to all this, have all the YouTube videos. They all still say the same thing, teach the same thing. Everything is online available. Why people pay thousands of dollars to get into the room? Right? It's just a different way of looking at it. Different game, different model.
The more you pay, the more attention you pay.
That is true. That is exactly true.
You get out of
So,
psychology.
absolutely. It's as an expert. So what I'm trying to say by showing you this slide, that you don't need to learn new things to get to the next level. That's the whole reason for that. You don't need to learn new things to get to the next level. You already know so much. You just need to learn how to deliver that, whatever you know. Right? So my model is, this is the expert mind, 90-day mastermind, whatever you came in as an expert. The next program is, for me, is partnership program, which I'm going to talk about later, but that's what for me is. You need to design your own program, which will help it. But this is a step-by-step, right? Does it make sense? All right. What do we learn? Misconception about the markets. We talked about it. What does expert business look like? There was a misconception in the market. People think that you need to have a degree and stuff. Most important things or most important lesson in the market, go to the market. Ask them, right? This is, ask them. Ask them the question. Experts delivery model. Already talked about delivery model and we talked exactly how you need to deliver online, one-on-one, group settings. All that is a delivery model. How you're going to be delivering it. You need to know the delivery model for you.
Is
You-
that something? Is there like a sequence as well? So you start with one-on-one and then go to group or something like that.
Now, I wouldn't recommend start for one-on-one. I wouldn't recommend that. I would recommend it if you. Sorry, hang on.
Depends.
If you're already expert in that niche, you already been working in that niche for a long time. You already done the work for them. You already done the work for them. Yes, then you start one-on-one. You already gone through the steps, right? If you're starting this space new and you don't know, then you need to actually do some work for people. If you already worked in that industry for long, you already know that you already done the work, you already have the results, then yes, you go to the next level. Yeah. So then the journey of the expert, like what are the steps, what does the journey look like? This is the journey exactly look like. This is how you need to take people. Yeah, cool? All right, you want to take a break? Too much information?
No, it's not too much information.
Cool. Does it make sense? Is it relevant, right?
Yeah.
Is it relevant, right? Cool. All right. Let's take a quickly 10-minute break.